and 50. Your next news update is at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. So there is significant change afoot at the federal level. At the state and city level in Illinois and Chicago, not so much. Not so much. Not if we're to take a quick assessment of the election results here at the state level and locally. Not so much. And Democrat Eileen Burke, who's the incoming Cook County State's Attorney, didn't really inspire much confidence that anything significant is going to change in that office under her leadership. Her main qualification, as I understand it, is that she is Irish and a Democrat.
Well, yeah, O'Neill Burke. But also, I think people forget, she's not opposed to the Safety Act. So it's her and Reinhardt are the only two state's attorneys in the whole out of 102 counties in Illinois that are for it. And she had a message yesterday during her victory speech because she beat Bob Fioretti 65% to 30%. She had a message for slain Officer Enrique Martinez.
I know that was a gut punch to so many of us. And it was to me. My dad, my grandfather, and my great-grandfather were all Chicago policemen. I know how dangerous that job is. And I know, and so do you, the sacrifice that each and every officer makes when they take the oath to serve and protect. My heart is broken for the Martinez family today, but my spirit is not broken. We will get assault weapons off of the street, and we will make this community safer for everyone.
What about repeat offenders?
That's a dressed-up version of "I'm sorry for your loss." I really don't care about your family's background. I really don't care. Why is what she said there is no different than the crocodile tears that are offered by BLM Brandon, as far as I'm concerned. I don't care about your family's loss. Your family's history. I care about what you're going to do in this position. And what I hear is the same old sophistry. Oh, you're going to get assault weapons. You're going to get some arbitrary sport rifles off the street, and that is going to do what? I'm sorry, were the guns that were a gun or guns in possession of those armed assailants responsible for Enrique Martinez's murders? Were they CCW holders? Are they particularly mindful of gun laws in Chicago and Illinois? Is that the problem? I'm going to go after weapons. I'm not going to go after criminals. It's the same rap we heard from Kim Fox. Same exact rap. Mm-hmm. So just spare me.
Nothing's going to change.
Spare me. We'll see. Her big idea, okay, just in terms of like calibrating your expectations according to reality, to the extent she said anything over the last 9 months, her big idea is what? Prosecuting retail thefts at the $300 level as opposed to the $1,000 level. There's a game changer.
That's going to do it.
But Chicago and Cook County get what they want. Mm-hmm. John Garrido is former Chicago Police Lieutenant in the 16th District. Also president of the Garrido Stray Rescue Foundation, GarridoStrayRescue.org. I hope you don't have any undocumented squirrels at the Garrido Stray Rescue,
Too
John.
Soon.
Don't even get me going on peanut.
So let's not focus on peanut. Let's focus on Enrique Martinez and what additionally we know about his murder the other night.
Well, it's to say it's heartbreaking and all the other stuff that goes with it is just a massive understatement. Once again, we've got an officer that, and I will blame the climate that we're in, is responsible for his death. When you have hesitation, because they don't want to put themselves in a situation where they're going to be looking to get fired, put in jail, be plastered all over the news. If you look, there's a video out there, and I don't know if you've seen it. Almost 10 seconds of them repeatedly telling this offender, "Don't reach, don't reach, don't do it. You're going to get shot. Don't reach." And I mean, if you think about it, even if you just pause for 10 seconds, that is a really, really, really long time when you're stopping a car at night. The guy's reaching for something. Clearly, they knew he was reaching for something. All the officers are yelling at him, and then the guy gets the drop on him and ends up killing Officer Martinez. Had it gone the other way, and had they responded and taken this guy out, I guarantee you the mayor would be up there weeping for the family of the offender. You would have a press conference for the family demanding justice and money. You would have politicians running about, why they have to shoot them, why they do the traffic stop, second guessing them. They'd be put on desk duty, and COPA would be looking to fire them, and Kim Foxx, before she gets out of office, would be looking to prosecute them.
Well,
because of that.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but we know that's true because that's exactly what happened in the Dexter Reed case.
100%. So when you set that climate, when you set that up that way like that, and these officers see that repeatedly, and again, another young officer here, less than 3 years on the job, 26 years old, this is what happens. This is what happens. These officers are literally put in danger because of this toxic climate that we have.
But conducting these traffic stops have become, a part of a disturbing trend here in Chicago. What led them to that area? Because different media outlets were saying that he was called there because a woman said a man was she shot a man breaking into her Kia.
Correct. There's a woman that was repeatedly calling, and if you listen to the tapes, she was calling in that she shot somebody who was trying to break into her car, and then she would hang up, and they actually, right before this happened, other officers got on and said, clear it. It's it's BS. She was just a prank caller, or just kept repeatedly calling. But these officers went to that area because there were several that were already going that way anyway. And then I don't have all the details of how they came upon this vehicle to conduct this stop, though.
I thought Superintendent Snelling's comments at that press conference outside University of Chicago Hospital after it was after Enrique Martinez was declared deceased, I thought the comment he made was sort of interesting. It seemed to me like it was a message to the guy standing behind him, and maybe to, sort of the Chicago political class writ large, when he said, in a city where our offices are not safe, it's going to be hard to keep everybody else safe.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Snelling is definitely, he loves these officers. He loves this department. I have no doubt about that. And that is a great message. If these officers aren't safe, how are they going to keep us safe?
Well, part of keeping people safe is keeping repeat offenders behind bars. And Superintendent Snelling confirmed that one of those in the vehicle had an ankle monitor that had been cut off. So was it the main suspect?
It's everything. It's the safety. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I just wanted who cut off their ankle monitor? Was it the main suspect? Was it the passenger who was fatally shot, or was it the person in the back seat who they arrested and then they let him go?
Yeah, that I don't know. I don't know who was wearing the ankle monitor. My assumption is that the guy they let go of the back seat, maybe they're going to flip him, and he's going to be a witness against the other guy, against the offender. But that's the frustration. That's the frustration, right? Add to everything that I've just said, but then then you've got the Safety Act. You've got these some of the state's attorneys that aren't asking for detentions on some of these offenders, judges that aren't allowing the detentions. I mean, the entire system has to change. It's got to change because it's only going to get more and more dangerous, not only for our officers, but for us in this community.
Do you know which high school those individuals were honor students?
Well, we haven't.
That hasn't been established yet?
The cap and gown pictures would have been displayed had it gone the other way.
Mm-hmm. The violent criminals, repeat violent criminals. Here's an idea when your city is beset by endemic violent crime. Import a bunch of gangbangers from Venezuela and finance their resettlement in Chicago with other people's money. Venezuelan migrant has been detained as a safety threat and only took 13 arrests. His 13th arrest this year after he allegedly tried to rob a woman of her bike in Streeterville. 19-year-old Venezuelan migrant. Didn't hear any comments from incoming State's Attorney Burke on repeat violent offenders in this country illegally or under dubious immigration status, working with ICE. I didn't hear anything about that. How important is that?
Well, that last part that you just said, working with ICE. So, there's a department policy that Chicago police officers are not allowed to cooperate and work with ICE. So I wonder if that's going to change now. I think, because what's coming on the federal level. I wonder, are we still going to maintain that attitude and continue to protect these criminals that aren't supposed to be here in the first place? I don't know. And going to Burke, so I at an event, and I thought previously, and I still do to a certain extent, that we did a heavy lifting back in the primary, right? We got Preckwinkles, Kim Fox 2.0, Clayton Harris knocked out at that time, and I thought that was the big thing. Oh, guess what? I guess it's a bad year for candidates named Harris. So we knocked him out in the primary, and I thought, all right, great. Now it was a win-win situation, right? We've got Burke and we've got Fioretti. I think that they're both good. I think that she does support the police, and I think that she will be able to build up that relationship. I'm not crazy about everything that she said. Why is it always the default is to the assault weapons? The assault weapons aren't going around killing people. It's these criminals. The offenders are the ones that are carrying these weapons and doing it. And you're not going to eliminate and get rid of them. You're just not. So you have to focus on the bad guys. We need to put the bad guys in jail. We need to hold people accountable. That's where you have to make it happen.
Yeah, well, it's difficult to believe that that's the case when she bristles at the characterization of her as being tough on crime, when she provides rhetorical support to the Safety Act, when, as you said and I said, she focuses on the old scapegoat of the left, which is the guns rather than repeat violent offenders, which every law enforcement official knows is the problem, repeat violent offenders and turnstile justice. I don't hear her mention anything about Tony Preckwinkles emptying out of Cook County Jail. It just.
Got old.
I mean, maybe her behavior will run counter to her rhetoric, but that rarely happens in a positive direction in Chicago.
Well, like I said, based on my personal conversation with her, I thought going into this that we were in a win-win situation, and I think that she's going to do a good job. So, I don't take my hope away from me, Dan.
You're so naive.
A real quick question for you before we let you go. In an effort to save money, he has put a freeze, Mayor Johnson, on 400 police officers being hired. What's your reaction to that? And then also the police academy, he's shutting that down for 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, didn't he say he was going to promote 200 more detectives? He was going to, we are losing officers repeatedly, and it's not. I was like, everybody defaults to the scare tactic, and it's not. It's a reality. We are definitely running on a skeleton crew out there, and clearly we just saw it's a dangerous job. These officers don't have the support and the backup that they need, and because of all the rhetoric out there, it's hard to recruit and get new officers to get people to come on the job. Police officers are not telling their kids to grow up and be police officers here in Chicago. So doing something like this is just his way. It's their way to defund the police. This is how they do it. That's how they do it. They pick at it little by little, so that way they can, use the money for their other priorities.
John Garrido, former Chicago police lieutenant in the 16th District, president of the Garrido Stray Rescue Foundation, where I got my hound Hayek. GarridoStrayRescue.org. John, thanks as always.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper, hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Wow. Are you buying or are you selling? As this is being written, silver is up more than 50% in just the past 8 months. And gold is the highest it's ever been. Whether you are just getting into the metals, want to roll your IRA into silver or gold, or want to take some profits off the table, Fox Valley Coins is ready, willing, and able to help. Even though Fox Valley Coins is a national dealer, they're family-owned and in your own backyard.